All right, hey everyone. Welcome to another Vinyasa Flow yoga class. It's Monday. I'm Melissa Shippey, and we're gonna do a Vinyasa Flow with some sun salutation or moon salutation action tonight and some shoulder openers. So you might want to grab a strap or a long sock or a scarf. So something like this, like a sock would do. A yoga strap if you have one. A rolled up towel that's kind of about as big as kind of your typical yoga block would work as well. So yeah, if you have those props, then that's great. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm sure you'll be able to. You can do all the poses without the props as well. So let's get started on the mat, and yeah, we'll come to a seated position. So cross-legged seated position. All right. So you can go in Sukhasana. You can also stretch your legs forward, or just kind of take an easy Baddha Konasana position. So go ahead and just bring the hands onto the knees, and we'll just hang here for a moment. So let the eyes close and draw your chin in towards your chest, and start by taking some deep breaths in through the nose and deep breaths out through the nose or out through the mouth. So you just want to find your ground here to start with. If you would like to, you can sit on a cushion or a towel, kind of prop yourself up, or sit on your yoga block. So finding your breath, bring some sound to your breath. Long deep breaths coming in, long deep breaths coming out. So just setting the intention for your practice, just getting into that quiet place, getting into the zone. Take one more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, and I do recommend going into a cross-legged, loosely cross-legged position now. So we'll bring the hands on to the knees, and then we'll begin moving the spine around. So mobilizing the spine. We'll bring the head forward and then back. So rock forward into torso and back. Just picking one direction to go to, so counterclockwise or clockwise. Start to get your shoulders involved with this motion. So roll them up to the ears and roll them down and back. Inhale forward, exhale back. And then switch sides, switch directions. Same breath pattern here, so inhaling forward, exhaling back. All right, and then coming back to center, and then we're gonna round the spine. So just like your cat arch, you're bringing the chin towards the chest, rolling the shoulders up to the ears, pulling the navel to the spine. And then you're gonna come forward, lifting the sternum forward and pulling the shoulder blades back and lifting your chin forward as well. So finding an extension through the spine. So go ahead and exhale back and inhale forward. And yeah, I'm just gonna get your shoulders involved as well. Draw them forward and then pull them back. Forward and pull them back. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Okay, a couple more. All right. Okay, and then we'll move into a twist. So we're gonna first lift the arms up, inhale, and then exhale, twist to the right. The left hand is gonna come onto the right knee. Look over your shoulder. Bring your chin over to your shoulder, over to your right shoulder. Breathing deep. And then release, reaching up with both arms. Inhale, exhale to the other side. Looking over the shoulder here. Pulling both shoulders down, but lifting through the crown of the head. Breathing deep. Inhales and exhales. All right, and go ahead and release. So reaching up, inhale here, and then we're going to exhale, forward fold. Drop the head and breathe into the spine. Reaching out, and we're just going to keep kind of moving around. So we want to feel, try and find some tense spots in the back here or in the hip. So just kind of walking over to the right side, center, walk to the left, breathe there, walk to the center, over to the right side, center, and to the left side, and to the center. And then slowly come back up. Take the hands back behind you, fingers pointing towards your seat or just out to the sides. And lean back and roll the shoulders back. So you can lift your chin up or drop your head back if that feels okay. In the neck, you can lift your hips up a little bit higher if you would like to as well. Breathing deep, keep lifting. Take another deep breath in. And your exhale, just releasing and coming forward. So from here, we're gonna come forward into a kneeling position. And then here's where you might want your block or your rolled up towel, and I could just demo with the block. So I'm just going to sit on the block. The block is gonna be lengthwise. I'm just gonna sit on the block. So if this is too much for your knees, if it's too much flexion in your knees and you feel like there's pain in your knees, then you can come into the high kneeling position instead. So otherwise, just sitting back onto the block or prop yourself up even higher. You can sit on 2 blocks if you have them. So what we're going to do is take that left arm and bring it around your back. So you're reaching your left hand more towards your right hip. And then we're going to drop, I'm just going to turn around. We're going to drop the right ear down to the right shoulder. So if this is quite a bit of a stretch for you, then go ahead and just stay here. If you want just a little bit more, then you're taking your right hand and just gently placing it just kind of above the ear, and you're not pulling on the head at all, but you're just adding a little bit more weight, so you're stretching all down through the neck and shoulders. Should feel quite intense. Breathing deep. Take another deep breath in. And then you can release your hand if it's up there, and then just slowly first drop your chin down, and then drop your left arm from the side, and then reach forward and just keep your chin tucked in to your chest. And then lift your head up, lifting your chin up, and then releasing. And then we're going to the other side now. We're taking that right arm, just bringing it around your low back, and you're reaching for your left hip now. So we're going to just drop now the left ear to the left shoulder, and if you want some assistance, then you're placing the left hand just above the ear, and again trying to bring the shoulders down and trying to breathe. Make sure you are breathing as best as you can to help trigger that relaxation response in your body. And you're not pulling aggressively. Again, you're just trying to relax and breathe through the stress, through the stretch. And you can stay longer if you want to. If you're doing this video again, if this kind of just gives you an idea. You can kind of go back and forth, maybe staying for 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other side, and then doing 2 rounds if you want to. Go ahead and release that left arm down, and then bring that chin in, and then relax the hands onto the knees. Again, palms face down, chin in, and then lift chin, and then release. Okay, we're gonna come forward onto the hands and knees in tabletop position. So hands underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. We'll begin doing another few rounds of cow-cat and opening up the spine. So rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone under, rolling the shoulders up, and then inhale, releasing. Exhale, and inhale. Exhale, and inhale. Keep moving. Feel free to slow it down or speed it up. All right, and then move around circle motion. Bend your elbows, loosen up here. Just try not to hold up your head. And let it go. Engaging the core a little bit more. And then slow that down, coming back to tabletop position. Lift your right leg back behind you. Shift your left shin off to the left. Drop your right foot to the floor and reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Draw your right arm alongside your ear. Reach back up to the ceiling. Draw your right arm alongside your ear. Reach up to the ceiling. One more time. Reaching alongside your ear and then reaching up to the ceiling, and then bring that right arm behind your back. Breathe. Kind of pressing your hand to your back to your hand, rolling the shoulder. Take another deep breath in. Release the hand, swing all the way down and back into tabletop pose. Switch sides. The left leg's coming back, right shin off to the right, spin open for side plank position variation. So let's go reach forward and then reach up. Reach forward and reach up. So my left leg, keep reaching, going back and forth. My left leg is activated. I'm pushing down through my left foot, and my kneecap is lifting up into quadricep muscles. So I'm activating my left leg here, and I'm activating my core by drawing my navel to my spine. Okay, we're gonna reach up. Drop that hand behind your back. Hold and just work on that top shoulder. The left shoulder kind of lifting up and rolling back. Try to relax the neck muscles here. Keep your top, bottom arm strong here so you're staying supported. And then releasing up all the way down and back to tabletop pose. Round the spine. Exhale. Inhale. Release back to cow, and then coming back to neutral. Right leg comes back again. Left shin off to the left. Open up this time. Keep that top leg hovering. Bend into the knee and catch the foot. If that's too much to catch the foot, reach up with your arm. Don't catch the foot. Just bend the knee and pull the heel. Just with the strength in your hamstrings, contracting, pulling the heel to your bum, reaching up. Otherwise, you're holding onto the top of your ankle, top of your foot, and you're holding that bind. Looking down if it's too much to look up. So looking down, just releasing the neck muscles, that's fine. Or looking forward and releasing from there. Switch sides. So we're going to take that left leg back. That right shin's gonna roll over. So again, this position, bent knee, holding that, or catch the top of your foot. Okay, top of your foot, or if you can grab your toes, that's fine too. You don't have to do anything super crazy here. And holding that. So we're just opening hip, opening shoulder at the same time, activating the core a little bit. So, and again, just kind of finding a neutral place for your head to sit. So if looking down feels the most relaxed, then go ahead, look down. It also will help with your balance if you're not used to this pose as well. Breathing deep, take another deep breath in, and then let it go. Come all the way back to tabletop pose. Another round of cat and cow. Inhale, and then back to neutral. Walk hands forward, tuck toes under, lift your hips, come to downward facing dog, and pedal the feet out. Drop the head, spread the fingers nice and wide, reaching back into your feet, rocking the hips side to side if that feels good. Keep breathing. Sides of the body begin to lengthen out in this pose. All right, start to walk your feet towards your hands and come to the top of the mat here, folding forward. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. All right, so start to rise up all the way, reach up to the ceiling. Inhale, open the arms up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, forward fold, and inhale, rise up and reach up nice and tall. Exhale, open, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold, but bend into your knees and just lay your chest on your lap and pull the hips way back. So you're rounding the spine and just breathing there. Straighten the legs and do that again. Bend into the knees, round, and then straighten the legs. Lift halfway, fold forward with the legs straight, and then come up all the way, reaching up to the ceiling. Exhale that out. We're going to add that strap or sock or scarf, whatever you have, in the next few moves. So even if you just grab a piece of fabric, t-shirt, whatever, just go ahead quickly, grab something, stick, that would work as well. So we're just going to hold that. I'm just going to use a sock just to demo how little it takes to make this exercise work for you. It's really effective for opening up the shoulders here. So I'm just going to grab on the either ends of the sock here, and we're reaching up overhead and then releasing down. So with your breath, you're inhaling up and then exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Let's just do one more. Inhale up and then exhale down. Then we're going to add some side bends to this. So you're reaching up and you're holding and you're kind of pulling the sock or strap apart. At the same time, you're drawing your shoulder blades down to your back pocket. So what we're going to do, navel pulling to the spine, we're going to lean to one side. So we're going to lean to the left here. And you're pulling apart and you're also reaching up to the ceiling at the same time. Breathing, breathing, breathing. All right, now come back to center and then go to the other side. So reach up. Imagine that there's some weight to this strap as well. So you try to push it up and you're pulling it apart. Breathing deep. And then come back to center. And then again, down and up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. One more. And up. Okay, now we're going to release and go down behind the back here. So we're going to just do a little bit of external rotation. So bring your hands kind of close together as best as you can, but do hold on to a strap still. So again, it's just kind of that pulling apart and pushing down so that my shoulder blades are pulling down my back and retracting shoulder blades here. Feet are hip distance apart. Go ahead and pull down. Now bend forward just halfway, so hinge forward just halfway, and then all the way. So again, my hands are pretty close together. and then we're going to separate the hands so that they're wider. So on either edges of the sock again, and my sock is like a foot long. So again, wide, and you can go wider. You can just kind of experiment at home. So we're going a wide shoulder stance here, and then going up overhead and all the way, and you'll just notice a little bit more movement in your shoulder rotation here, in your shoulder mobility as you come up. Keep lifting up. And as you're coming up, you're pulling apart and coming up. Okay, and then releasing from there. Okay, so you release the strap. Just bring it by the side. We're going to get into some moon salutations now in lieu of the full moon that's happening tomorrow night. So a little bit different than our sun salutation sequence, but pretty fun, pretty effective as well. We're going to use the length of the mat, so if you need to spin your mat around at home, then you can go ahead. I'm going to kind of be facing the camera the whole time, and I'm going to be starting more at the top of my mat. So the first sequence starts with, or the first pose lifts up with the arms here, and you can bring your hands together or separated, and we're going to go side to side. So we're going to go right side, just hold that, and again palms separated or apart, reaching up, and then let's go other side, left side, and then come back to center. And now we're going to step that left foot out and come right into a goddess stance. So we're going to step, so star, and then we're going to sink down. So feet are turned out, toes are turned out, not my elbows are going to bend, and I'm going to sink into a squat. So it's also called horse squat. I like goddess squat as well. It just sounds a little more prettier. And arms are out, retracting the shoulder blades back, or pulling the shoulder blades back, lifting your heart forward, opening the elbows, pull those elbows back. You should feel this in your legs, and keep breathing here. One more breath. Okay, so we're going to stand, straighten legs, straighten the arms. You're in a star position. Turn your left foot to the back of the mat. We're going into Trikonasana. So begin to slide forward with that left arm, and then drop down and bring your left hand to your left shin, or if you're using a block, then your hand will go on your block for Trikonasana, or maybe you're touching the foot or the floor in your Trikonasana. So reaching up with that top arm, which is your right arm, rolling top shoulder back. Now we're going to close it in to pyramid pose. So we're going to bring that right arm down to the leg as well. Going to shift that back foot and fold forward. So now my back toes are more turned in, more at a 45, and I'm folding over the left leg. Again, you can use a block. My both legs are straight. My front leg has a little bit of flexion in the knee, but not totally locked out. My back leg is more really engaged. So back leg, my knee is locked out, and my quadricep is engaged at the back, and I'm pulling through my hips. I'm pulling back through my hips so that I can stretch my hamstrings here on left side. Okay, and then we're going to move into lunge. So you can step your back foot back a little bit more so that we're just dropping down into lunge. And you're facing what would be the back of the mat here. So lunging here. And you can go into crescent lunge if you want, but traditionally the hands are just on the floor and you're lifting forward to the head. And back toes tucked under. From here we're going to lift up into Cossack squat. So we're going to lift that back knee, turn to the side, and then go right over to the right, and your left leg is going to straighten and your right knee is going to bend. So variations, that top foot, toes are pointing, or that back foot, the left foot, the toes are pointing up. You can use your hands to support yourself, or you're sinking down quite a bit. So you're either down like this or you're coming up like this. So this is more of beginner, so coming up or just kind of using your arm and propping yourself up like that. We're going to go to the right. Now we're going to shift to the left. Do the same thing, and again, any variation, so you can sink right down. Don't worry about if you're not quite warmed up yet. Totally understandable. Don't try and push it just yet if it's not happening for you. And then we're going to come back over to the right. So we're going to go back to the right, hold, breathe, and then down. And then now we're doing the right side. So we're just going to spin around, starting with the crescent lunge, but the hands are down, holding crescent lunge, breathing here. Okay, and then coming up to pyramid squat, pyramid stance. So lifting that back knee and just kind of do a quick step so that both legs are straightened, and push back through the hips or pull back through the hips. Drop your head down. And then Trikonasana is next on the right leg. So coming up kind of halfway, you're going to use your hand, place your hand on the inside part of the shin. Try to turn your back foot out so that you have your balance. By the way, that left hand can go onto your hip, so you can open up like this, or you're reaching up all the way to the left arm. And core engaged. All right, and then coming up, finding star position, and then going into goddess stance again. So turning toes to the side, and then turn toes out, and then sinking down into your squat. Breathing deep. Standing up. Okay, and then bringing your right foot to your left foot. So stepping back into the center, hands to the heart. Sweep the arms up again. Inhale and exhale. Doing the other side here, starting with the right leg, and I'm just going to maybe speed it up a little bit more, and then we're going to start adding some variations. Okay, lifting up, go to the right side, inhale center, exhale left side, inhale center, exhale, step your right foot out to the right, drop into goddess stance. Coming back up, right toes point forward to the top of the mat. Trikonasana, reach forward, drop down. Pyramid stance, drop your left hand to your right hand. Turn your back toes forward. Dropping down into low lunge. Step your back foot back, drop your left knee to the floor. Lift your chin forward, your heart forward. Going into that Cossack squat on the left side. So we're going to kind of lift up and just do a quick kind of spin across the center and bend into the left knee. A variation for this one. Left hand on the inside part of the left foot. Reach up with the right arm. Go over to the right side, do the same. So my toes are turned out. Now my left leg is straight, my right knee is bent. Lift up with your left arm. Go back over to the left side. Reach up with your right arm. Bring it down, turn around to the back of the mat. You're in low lunge. Lift chin, heart forward. Drop hips. Pyramid stance. Walk your back foot in or hop it in. Pull the hips back, fold forward. Trikonasana, left hand to the left foot. Reach up with your right arm. on up from there, engage core. Turn toes forward, back into your goddess stance. One more breath. And stand, star, and bring your left foot to your right foot. And star. Reaching up, inhale. Exhale to the right side. We're going to add in some variations here. Inhale, center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, center. Bring the thumbs to the back of the head. Reach up with the arms. We're going to do some shoulder openers with this moon salutation. Over to the right side. Reach up. Thumbs to the back of the head. Reach up. Go over to the left side. Come back to center. Step your left foot out. And then go into goddess stance. So, kind of, this might look a little funny. We're going to do some arm movements here. So, with your right arm, you're going to turn it down. And your elbows are going to still stay at 90 degrees. So, let's turn your right arm down. And your left arm is going to be up. Okay, hold that. And then switch sides. As best as you can. Keep pushing that left hand down and right arm back, okay? And you want to keep pushing, okay? And let's start threading, flossing, flossing the shoulders here. Back and forth as best as you can. This is really all about bringing awareness to external, internal rotation of the shoulder. You should feel some intensity. You'll feel this in your legs. I know your legs should be feeling like they're on fire as well. That's a good thing. You can always stand up, keep breathing, keep flossing. One more time. And back to center. Okay, stand and reach. Turn your left toes to the back of the mat. Go Trikonasana, drop your left hand down, reach up. Okay, bring your left arm down. And go to pyramid stance. Bow to the knee. Drop down into crescent lunge. Step your back foot back, drop your back knee. This time we will lift the arms. Crescent lunge open. Now coming into goddess stance, arms. Elbows bent at 90, I'll face the camera here. So I'm in goddess stance or in the arms. Now pull the elbows back. Lift your heart up. So you want to feel like your shoulder blades are supporting your back bend. So my back is an extension here, but I want to lift through my upper spine, not kind of compress on my lower spine. Okay, try not to overarch over on your lower spine. Try to lift through your heart. And this pose should activate your shoulders so that they'll help you just kind of get that support. And I'm bending maybe deeper into my front knee just to get a little more hip stretch out of it. And then reach up and then hands to the floor. Come into Cossack squat on the other side. So we're going to lift, come up, spin over to the right side and down. Okay, right hand down to the right foot. Lift up with that left arm. I'm going to come back in the camera here for you. Okay, lift up with that left arm. Bring that left arm behind your back. Then reach it up. Turn, back of the hand facing my back. And then palm facing towards the camera here. And then back, forward. Rotate, back, forward. One more time. Rotate back, place on my back. Reach up, over to the other side. Use your hands to support you. That left hand is on the floor on the inside part of that left leg, kind of like extended side angle here. Right arm's reaching up. Turn, back of the hand. My back of the hand is on my back. And then spinning so that my palm is faced. Face forward. Facing back. And then facing forward. Rotate back. And just every time I push my hand, my back of the hand into my low back, I'm kind of pushing my back into my hand as well. So I'm trying to keep opening that way. Okay, legs are activated, everything's kind of activated here. I know it's a lot. Okay, reach up, go over to the other side, and then right away we'll go into the crescent lunge. Reaching up, both arms. Bring your arms back into that 90-90 cactus arms. Keep lifting your heart forward, dropping the hips down. My back toe is tucked under. Reaching up, inhale, exhale, hands to the floor. Hop your back foot in and lift up to pyramid stance. Folding over the right leg, pulling the hips back. Should feel again, stretch through hamstrings, maybe a little bit through the calf, but not a ton. Should feel it from basically from the back of the knee to the hamstrings, glutes. Trikonasana is next. Turn your back foot, your left foot out. Slide on it, reach in. All right, and then coming back, star, goddess dance. This time holding this goddess dance, but taking the hands back behind you, clasping behind you. Squeeze, pulling the hips back, or pulling the knuckles back and down. Just spinning around so I can show you. And lifting your heart. Now bow forward. Opening the hips, opening the shoulders here. And lifting and standing and releasing the arms. Inhale and then step your left foot to your right foot. Hold here, breathe. Take another deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, so that is our moon salutation here. And then I'll start breaking into another type of flow here with some more shoulders and a little bit more balancing here. So let's go ahead and face the front of the mat. Lift the arms up in the sun salutation kind of vein. We're lifting up for saluting, upward salute. Folding halfway forward, reaching through the arms, pulling the hips back, bowing all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, and hands to the floor. Step your right foot back. Drop your right knee to the floor. Reach up through the arms. Bring the hands to the heart. And twist to your left side. So your right elbow is going to be on your left knee. Okay, holding here. You lift up that back leg, so our back knee, so right knee. And holding the prayer twist. Okay, by all means, as a variation, your arms are open. Opening or binding. Top arm, you can do half bind. That top arm could wrap around your back as well. Okay, we're going to release. Come all the way down. Plant hands to the floor. Step back into plank pose. Our first vinyasa of the class. And coming down through chaturanga, but we're going to just lay on the floor for a moment. Hands underneath your shoulders. So rolling the shoulders, head just above the floor, roll the shoulders up, down, and back. Up, down, and back. Rolling them up, down, and back. And then holding them back and down, and then lifting your heart forward. Now imagine you're pushing your hands down to the floor here. Now imagine you're trying to drag your body forward. Okay, so push down into the mat, but pull back through your hands and like towards your feet and reach your heart. Keep reaching, reaching, reaching. Lift your feet, keep reaching, reaching, reaching. And lift your hands. Keep pulling the elbows back and breathing. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands to the floor. Drop the head, press up. Walk your knees in. And then drop your forearms down to the floor. Round your spine. Release your spine. So cow-cat with forearms down. One more time. Round. And release. Come back up to downward facing dog. Stretch it out. Pull the hips back. Step right foot forward. Left knee to the floor. Arms reach up. Hands to the heart. Inhale, exhale, twist to the right side. Left elbow onto the right knee. And back knee or left knee, lifting up. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Take another deep breath here. And on your exhale, release out of the twist. Hands to the floor. Come back to plank pose. Lower yourself down through chaturanga. This time, lift up into up dog or cobra. So, if you're in up dog, my knees are floating above the floor in up dog. Okay, so I want to take the compression out of my low back by lifting my heart forward. So I'm not sinking down and I'm not doing this. I'm pushing down into my hands, pulling forward like I'm trying to drag my body forward again. And then that releases the tension out of the low back. If you feel like there's always tension there, it's either because you've gone too far or you just kind of are sinking down, you are compressing in the low back. Maybe you need to be down here. So just kind of changing your pose or tweaking a little bit does sometimes help. Okay, so come back onto the knees and then drop your forearms back to the floor. This time in that mini cat or the forearm position, we're going to move around in a circle motion in the shoulders. Go both directions. All right, and then back up to the top. Tabletop, down dog. Walk it out. Look forward and walk up to the hands. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Inhale, rise up all the way. Reach up, inhale, exhale. Okay, moving into Garudasana, moving into eagle pose for our balance and shoulder opening as well. Feet are hip distance apart. Ground in, find a comfortable place on the floor to balance on. Start with your hands at your heart and pull the hips back so you're sinking down and you're steadying through your hips. We're going to balance on the left foot, so take your right leg over top of the left. Wrap it around once or twice. This can be your pose as well. It's more like a figure four. So once you find your legs bound, then you're reaching out through your arms and then you're taking the left arm over top of your right arm and turning so that the hands our palms are facing each other, and then you can go ahead and lift up. If you're not quite there yet, or if you're here, you can, and you can't even manage to get your hands, so if you have really tight chest muscles or shoulders, this might be what you look like. So I suggest just grabbing onto your shoulders and gripping your hands into your shoulders and just kind of pulling forward and trying to open up as best as you can while dropping your shoulders down. Otherwise, if you are here, you can lift your elbows up and start to pull your hands away from your face. Try not to kind of sink down in the pose. Try to lift as best as you can through the elbows, get length through the sides of your body. And then we're going to release the legs. Keep those arms happening. We're going to release the legs and kick the right leg back. So it's going to come back. And we're going to balance some more. Okay? Facing forward now we're going to keep those arms. We're going to reach forward with that right leg in front. Cross that right leg ankle over the left ankle. So our legs are crossed. Now open up the arms and then take the right arm, wrap it in front of your body. So it's going to be in front of your body, and the left arm is going to go over top. So you are kind of pulling across and pulling over. So you can place your right hand on the side of your rib cage there and just kind of feel that side open even more. Pull the shoulder down, which is your right shoulder. And then switching sides, so switching your angles. And then try to squeeze the legs as you're doing this. Making this S shape with the arms. Breathing into your sides. So you're breathing into the rib cage, and sometimes I like to put my hand there just so I can breathe into it. Sometimes I forget in the pose. And then we're going to release out, and then take the hands back behind you, clasping behind, legs still crossed. Squeeze shoulder blades back. Keep your legs still crossed, bow forward, over crossed legs. And start to come up. And as we come up, we're just going to kick and unwind. So we're going to release the arms, and we're going to spin them back as that right leg lifts. And then we're just going to follow. Okay, shake it out. Going to the other side. Balancing on your right leg, hands at heart. Sinking down into your squat or into your chair position. That left leg's going to go over top of the right leg this time. Wrapping once or twice. Arms are going to come out. That right arm's going to go over top. And just remember what I said in the first one. For variations here, do what feels good in your body. And yeah, if you have a shoulder injury on one side and you just can't do the exact same thing on the other side, that is fine. You just try to get there. You try to, you're moving to the goal is to attain symmetry, but it's not necessarily realistic in a lot of people. So just because, yeah, we do have injuries and stuff, that's fine, but you can always work towards that goal of gaining more and more symmetry on the sides of our body here. So we're going to release out of the eagle, and we're going to take that left leg, kick it back this time, and fold. Try to hold that position. So if you're shaky in this position, that back foot can just touch the floor, and just try leaning at the angle and try to focus on engaging your core, and then taking little lifts and then falling out and just kind of testing the waters of balance just when you're starting here. And then eventually you're just trying to stay as long as you can, holding and breathing. Okay, and coming out and taking that left ankle, crossing it over the right ankle, and now you're planted again. So arms come out alongside your body. Let's take that left arm across the belly this time, and the right arm overhead. So leaning to the left side, creating the S shape, and then again you're just kind of you want to think about compressing the chest. So closing the chest or contracting the chest to open up the back and open up the shoulders and sides. So just sort of drawing in, chins drawing in, and then going into the other side, kind of doing the same thing. Hugging in close, and then releasing, and taking the hands back behind you again, clasping behind, squeeze and pull and open heart, and take it forward. All right, and then start to rise on up, and again just kind of do a leg and arm spin to come out of the pose. It's always fun. So stepping to the top of the mat, we'll lift the arms up, deep breath in, inhale, exhale, bring it forward, fold, inhale halfway, exhale, hands to the floor, step back to plank pose. Again, lowering through chaturanga, lifting into up dog or cobra and holding again for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So knees to the floor, and then we'll come into a puppy position. So the hips are going to be up high in this position, like your tabletop pose, and then you're just going to walk your hands forward and then draw your head to the floor. So if you have a lot of mobility, flexibility in your neck, then you can bring your chin onto the floor and open up the chest a little bit more that way. If it feels like it's too much extension, then bring your forehead to the floor. Don't worry about it. Keep the hips pulling back. Start to rise up. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders again. And then we'll take a twist. So we're going to, knees are hip distance apart. Take your right arm up to the ceiling. Inhale, and then exhale. Thread that right arm underneath your left arm. And bring the shoulder and head to the floor. Left hand is there for support. You can reach forward with the left arm if you would like. You can lift, you can bring it back. You can lift that left leg off the floor if you want to try some more balancing and just kind of opening, a little bit more core control, leg stuff. So kind of reaching through the ball of the foot if you're lifting up through that left leg. Another variation is lifting through the left arm as well. So really planting that right arm, forearm, tricep, shoulder, all planting down to the floor to stick this stall pose. And releasing, so hand and foot down to the floor, unwinding, switching sides. Left arm is up, reach underneath, coming into that twist, and again you can reach forward. So more of a passive, if you're feeling like you just want to take a passive position, just hang out here. You don't feel, you don't need to make it more complicated or do more balancing if that's not in your practice. So I'm just throwing things out there, you know, just in case you want to try some things. Arms lifting, legs lifting. All right, so arms, legs down, and releasing out of that. So coming back to tabletop position and rounding the spine, and then releasing, inhale, and then back to neutral spine. Okay, so we're going to do sort of like we did at the beginning of class, doing our hand to foot grab, but we're going to do a crosswise. This time we're going to lift the right leg first off the ground and then lift the left arm. Okay, so find that bird dog, and we're going to that bird dog bind. So bring your right foot to the, or right knee to the floor, and then open your left arm to the left. Okay, you can stay here in this position and just hold that. For the next progression, you're reaching back and reaching for the top of the right foot, and you can kind of walk your hands down to your ankle and stay there, and just finding yourself in this position. So strong through your right arm, staying supported that way. If you want the next progression, then you're kicking up, lifting your knee, kicking up into your hand, and then you're facing down. belly facing down, and keep kicking, pulling the left shoulder back and lifting the foot up. Another deep breath in, and then releasing. So drop the knee down first, release the foot, and hand to the floor. Let's switch sides, go right away to the other side. Finding a bird dog, so left leg and your right arm. Bend into the left knee, bring the knee right to the floor, and then open to the right with your right arm. Swing back around, see if you can catch the toe, and then walk down to your foot, top of foot or ankle. Holding that position again. Stay here if this is all you want to do, but if you want to progress in the next move, you are lifting, kicking up into the hand, lifting the knee, rolling the right shoulder back, breathing, and eventually belly facing down here, and again, just long deep breaths in and out. One more inhale, and exhale. Drop knee, release foot, hand to floor, and tabletop and cow-cat. Exhale, round, inhale, release, and back to neutral spine. Let's go downward facing dog next. Tuck toes under, lift the hips, walk it out. All right, so next we're going to, we're just taking one last down dog just to kind of stretch everything out. One last stretch in kind of the standing series, and then we're going to come down onto the floor. So drop the knees down, spin the legs around, and seat onto the floor. So what we're going to do, again, some more shoulder openers. You're going to feel pretty awesome after this. So fingers pointing forward towards your feet, and we're going to lift up into a reverse tabletop position. So go ahead and lift the hips and holding. So head at neutral spine. You don't have to drop it back all the way. You can, in fact, just tuck the chin into your chest. Squeezing glutes, pulling shoulders back. Another deep breath in, and exhale, release. Okay, the next one here is we're just going to keep your hands there and then scooch your bum away or forward. So you're holding here. So hands, you can turn your hands so that they point out to the sides for this one. So again, you're just going to pull the shoulders back as best as they can so they're coming back behind you. Opening and holding, lifting chest forward. Okay, and then scoot back. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing, but only we're just going to do some multitasking here by adding on a figure four stretch. So let's start by just straightening out your legs. We'll do a forward fold first. So inhale, reaching arms up, inhale, exhale, forward, inhale, right, reach up, exhale, arms down by the side, put your right ankle on your left knee, okay? Hands come back behind you, bend into your left knee, and then you can, again, just walk your hands so that the fingers are comfortable, your wrists are comfortable here, pointing your fingers out to the sides, and then you can kind of move your bum forward enough so that you're feeling the shoulder stretch, but you're pulling your chest towards your top shin there at the same time, okay? So you're trying to do a double duty as best as you can. Lift up, try not to do this, so try not to round in your spine. If you are doing this, then you need to walk back. So you've gone too far, so you need to walk back so that your arms are strong enough for you to support your spine in your posture, so enough so that you can lift your chest towards your shin. Okay, you don't want to be hunched in this position, otherwise your shoulders will be more aching than feeling stretched out. Okay, and then we're going to release. So release by straightening your right leg, a left leg, and then releasing out. Come forward, sweep arms up, inhale, exhale down, just one breath, and then just roll back up the spine. Okay, flowing it out, and then going to the other side. So left ankle onto the right knee this time, hands back behind you, fingers out to the sides, and doing the same thing. So again, if you feel comfortable, just don't even feel like going into a shoulder. If you've had enough shoulder stretches, then just stay in this position. But if you want to, then you're just either walking your hands back behind you a little bit more or sliding your bum forward. But you're still trying to lift your chest towards your shins at the same time. So just getting a little bit more of your shoulders activated in this position. So your shoulder blades should feel like they're kind of squeezing together behind you. And your chin can drop in towards your chest. Okay, and take another deep breath in. And then release. So releasing, again, you can slide your bum back and straighten your front leg forward, and that, straighten both legs out. Reaching both arms up, exhale, forward fold. This time holding a little bit longer, breathing into your back. Start to rise back up, bend just into your right knee, and take your feet just a little bit wider, just as wide as your mat. So if my legs were straight, they would just be as wide as my mat, but I'm bending into my right knee. I'm just creating some space in the center here. Left hand beside you, so just in front of the left hip, and we're going to reach up with the right arm. So we're just holding in this position as best as we can. The left, trying to kind of open up the right knee at the same time here. Okay, now we're reaching forward. So an inside part of that right knee. Okay, and now we're turning the palm to the right, and then we're going to bend into the elbow so that the bicep wraps out around the front of the shin there. Okay, so that is the half bind. You can let that left arm reach it around. So you just want to imagine the whole reaching and just getting length happening as you're reaching around, and then you can maybe grab on to your hands, which are clasping behind you. If that's not available, hold this. So you're wrapping, got your sock strap, bring it around, and you just give yourself something to reach for. So bring that left arm around, and then see if you can grab onto that sock that's at your side here. So create a little bit more space. So, because what sometimes happens is you're trying to get to your hands, and then you end up kind of kinking up, and you're like a big kink ball. So we don't want that to happen. We want to be lifting up, and with the strap, you're in a taller posture, you're letting more oxygen come in and out, and you're not going to sacrifice your breath for that pose. Okay, so just do what you can here. Use your strap, or don't use the strap if you're feeling cradle limber. Let that go. And then we'll go into joy pose. So we're going to open up that right knee, kind of come in like you're in a tree pose, but on the floor. Take your right arm behind you, and then rock up onto the right shin and lift the hips up and reach the left arm over and breathe. Drop your head back, so lots of deep breaths into the back here. And then releasing, bring it on down. Let's go to the other side. bending into the left knee, and again, just create some space in your center, sort of in a V shape with your body. My right hand now is going to be on the right side of my body, planted onto the floor. I'm going to just switch my angle here, and so that I have some support and just a little bit more support in my seat. So we're going to reach up with the left arm and just hold here for a moment. So breathing. Okay, now reaching and just holding that. All right, and now attempting to bind. So palm facing to the left, wrapping bicep around the shin. And again, feel free to just stay put here, especially if you don't have a strap or anything like that, and you feel like this is a stretch enough for you, stay here and move on to the progression later. But like I did on the other side, hold the strap in with your bindy hand, so the one that goes around your shin. And then with this arm, you're still working on as trying to get as much length as possible. Sometimes you may be surprised, like maybe one arm is longer than the other, which does happen, and it may just be easier to get into a bind on one side more than the other. So, but again, use a strap on both sides if you've got it. Just play around with it, and breathing deeply here. Working on pulling the shoulders back, working on lifting your chest forward, but not kind of rounding your spine or tucking your chin in. Try to lift like you're trying to pull your sternum towards your right foot. So you're moving in that direction so that you do feel something happening in your hip flexors here. So stretching it out. Okay, one more breath. And then we're going to release. Okay, release the strap. Foot open, or knee open, left knee open, and we're going to joy pose on the other side. So that left hand is going to be behind you, and we're going to rock up on the left shin, and then go back over and roll. So you kind of a variation of side plank position, right? So coming over and breathing. All right, and then releasing back down onto your seat. Taking the feet together here, Baddha Konasana, hands behind you. And again, fingers pointing out to the sides or towards you, and leaning back again. Trying to open up the knees, or just try to relax the knees open as best as you can. And then come forward, grab onto your feet. Try not to round your back just yet. Coming forward, lifting forward towards the top part of your mat here. Pull the shoulder blades down. Take a hold of your feet here with just your left hand. Right hand onto the right knee. And then we're just going to do a little lean. So we're placing a little bit of pressure down onto the left shin, calf, and a little bit of pressure onto the right knee, inner thigh, and we're opening and a little rotation as well. So looking to the right, and then switching to the other side. Hold on to the bottom of your feet here, clasp them together, hold on, and then my elbows kind of dropping in, trying to pinning that right side down, so that we can open up the left side. So again, a gentle pressure, pushing down and away, opening, trying to get the hip, rib cage open here, and a little bit of rotation as well. And then releasing from there. All right, so one more, going into a forward fold, and use a strap here for demo purposes. Got my strap or my yogi strap, and across the soles of the feet here. So inhale, lifting tall, exhaling, forward fold. So anything you can do, even if your feet are pushing into the wall. So if you, I'm just going to turn away from the camera for a sec, but if you have your feet pushing into your wall, and you can forward fold from there, because that's just going to help your feet flex. So anything you can do to kind of help your feet flex, like I said before with the mat roll-up trick, do that as if you can. Here, try new things. You're at home. All right, so take another deep breath in, deep breath out, go a little bit deeper, and then start to rise back out. All right, release. Strap away. We're going to come down onto the spine now, rolling like a ball, or go right to happy baby pose if you would like to. Otherwise, tuck your chin in towards your chest, round your spine. Inhale, rolling back. Exhale, rolling forward. So keeping the core engaged here as you're rocking and rolling. You can just do these little rocks. You don't even have to do all the whole rocking up if you don't want to. Okay, come back to your back. Come onto your back for happy baby. Head to the floor and grab onto your knees or your shins or your feet and rock side to side. Okay, so just breathing it out here. Alright, grab onto your right knee and extend your left leg away and hug or bring your head in towards your right knee, nose towards the knee or forehead towards the knee, and then release your head back onto the floor. Grab onto the right knee with your left hand and cross it across your body over to the left side. Reach your right arm out to the right. Alright, with your right arm, reach it over to the left side and then hold there so that it feels like your chest is again closing in here. And then start to draw onto the floor, circle, going back, haloing around yourself, around your head. Try to trace onto the floor as best you can. Try to touch the floor the whole way as best as you can as you come back over to the right side, overhead and over to the right, and open again. Now reverse that. So just go back where you came. And you're just trying to go slow and mindfully as you're trying to keep a relaxed arm here, and bringing awareness to just where there might be some stickiness or some muscle tension, bony tension happening around your shoulders. Just going back and forth. You can turn your head as well, looking over to the right. Very slowly again, very slowly and very lazily with that arm, right arm coming over. If there's a pose or if there's an angle in which your arm just feels like it just needs to stay there because it feels like such a great stretch, then by all means stay there. You don't feel like you have to kind of follow along with everything I do, but I am just going to keep going in the circle back and forth. This exercise is always a good reminder just how much we actually put on our shoulders in our daily lives, because it's kind of something that should be part of daily hygiene, just like brushing your teeth, because of what we do to our bodies during the day. Whether we're sitting, we're driving, we're on a computer, any kind of hard exercise, we can just kind of exhaust our shoulders quite a bit. So we're going to release. We're going to go to that other side. So let's just come on out. Reset by bringing the knees into the chest. Hug everything in. And release the head to the floor. And then straighten your right leg out. The left knee's coming in. Bring your head in towards your left knee here. Just give it a nice good tug and then release down. Head to the floor. Now guide your left knee over to your right side and then shoot your left arm out to the left. Okay, so again, just kind of hang here for a moment, just letting your body adjust and just kind of feel what it feels like on this side. When you're ready, you can just take it over, right over to the start position, which is bringing the left arm across your chest over to the right side. Touch floor, and then start tracing on the floor over and back to the left side. You can slowly just kind of peel open and just let your head follow along as well. Play around with the rotation of your hands, so whether it's palm face up or palm face down as you kind of move in the different angle with your arm. And all the while, so when you're doing this exercise, you're still trying to work on getting that left knee over and down, and just kind of holding. I'm just still holding my left knee with my right hand and gripping just to kind of keep stable in my leg position. So while I'm having a passive stretch, opening my low back and my hip flexor, glute. While I'm passively stretching here, I'm doing more active stretch in shoulder. So again, it's kind of most of the poses I like to do are multitasking poses because bodies are complicated and you don't have a lot of time really, and so it's best to kind of work on multi things at the same time if possible. Sometimes it's good to isolate and do an isolative stretch and just hold that in a yin, say in a yin class, and holding that's always beneficial as well. It just kind of depends on what your style that you gravitate to, I guess. So we're going to just do one more again, just kind of very lazily kind of moving and reaching over, and then coming back. When your arm is all the way back over to your left side again, then you can roll yourself out of that position, come back onto reset with your knees in and you're wrapped around. So head to the knees if you wish, or keep your head to the floor and just holding and breathing here. Work on pulling low back down to the floor. All right, and then just releasing now. Head down to the ground. Bring the feet onto the ground and the knees bent. So walk your feet wide apart, as wide as your mat. Bring your arms open to a T again. Let's do windshield wipers. Drop your knees left and drop your knees right. Then we're winding down the practice, moving into Shavasana here. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Here we're just going to do a pause in our windshield wipers. So drop your knees, both of them, as they fall over to the left side. Hang there, just hold that pause windshield position or twist position. Now drop your chin over to your left shoulder as well, and try to pull your right shoulder actively pull it to the floor as best as you can. So, or just imagine that your right arm weighs a ton. Keep breathing, head heavy, everything just heavy and lazy here. And then let's release, come back to center, do the other side. Drop your knees to the right side, so your knees are kind of suspended and pulling, and then doing the neck stretch as well. So dropping your chin over to your right shoulder while trying to keep that left shoulder pulling down to the ground. Sometimes it just doesn't take much. Sometimes you can kind of keep yourself activated. Sometimes you can also bring your right hand across. So as you're turning your head over to the right, you can bring your right hand on your left shoulder, just as a reminder to keep it sitting down, setting down, and you can kind of keep that hand there as you're stretching and looking over to the right. And then releasing from there. So let's come back to center. You're gonna do another couple windshield back and forth, and then moving right into Shavasana from here. Straightening out the legs and getting into a comfortable position, whether it be laying down, laying on a bolster, maybe sitting in a comfortable seated position on a block or bolster as well. Just take time for this part of the practice, really beneficial, just to add in some quiet and silence and focus on your breath here for the next few moments. So get comfortable, palms open towards the ceiling, and inner lines of the legs and feet are open to the ceiling here as you are in Shavasana. Let your eyes close or relax and begin taking a deep breath in through the nose, filling the lungs, filling the belly. A little bit there, and then deep breath out through the nose again, or maybe a deep breath out through the mouth. Completely empty lungs and belly from that air, full of air. And letting it go, and then taking maybe one or two more active breaths again. Deep breath in, maybe even pausing at the top of that inhale. Deep breath out. Make sure that breath is audible to you so you can hear it, either breathing out through the mouth or breathing out through the nose. Another stretch you can do, just kind of keeping on the same theme of neck, shoulders opening. You can kind of do a lion's breath stretch as you exhale. So deep breath in, and then you stick your tongue out, open the mouth, and you're breathing out through the mouth. So making a big ha sound and just kind of opening the throat, and it feels like a nice release as well. So go ahead, try different exhales, whatever you like. And when you are done those inhalations, exhalations, and you're just coming back to a normal breath flow and awareness of your breath. So noticing breath coming in through the nose and moving out through the nose. Notice the belly gently rising with the inhale and falling in the exhale. And notice the back body connecting more and more onto the mat or the floor or the earth as you exhale as well. So sinking down and just letting go bit by bit. Whether you're in seated or in Shavasana, finding wherever you're touching that ground, and think of your setting extra roots down from your bones or from your skin, and you're setting those roots down through the floor, connecting to the earth to recharge, re-energize, restore your body and your mind and your soul, really. Just kind of trying to hit that reset button here. Charge up. Again, bring that sound to your breath, that nice calming, inhaling, exhaling sound, the sound of wind, the sound of tides coming in, washing out. Letting yourself be soothed by the sound of your own breath, by your capacity to give yourself this gift and love to your body. It's all about self-care. Caring for yourself so that you can care for others. Take about 3 more deep breaths in and deep breaths out here. Slowly bring awareness to your body with some movement in your fingers and your toes, or rocking your head from side to side. Yawning and becoming more and more awake in your body. Moving intuitively here as you let that the oxygen run through your body back into your blood, moving through your arms, moving through your legs, moving back to oxygenate your brain again. And finding what stretches feel good right now. And moving intuitively, maybe windshield wipers feel good. Morning stretch, reaching overhead. And moving and rocking over onto your right side. And when you're ready, making your way up to there, from there, to a seated position. And feel free to stay here and continue on your meditative practice. Otherwise, namaste. Thanks for joining me. And hope to see you again on Wednesday for a HIIT core yoga class. We'll be sweating a lot more in that class. I'm Melissa Shippey. This was Vinyasa Flow Yoga. Let me know your thoughts. So any comments, anything you want to see, any kind of themes you'd like me to bring in, I would like to try and do that. Yeah. Thanks so much, everybody, and take care.